Hello! In today's video, I'm going to be making a little snowman out of Worbla Crystal Art. Now, I have done a lot of projects with regular Worbla, but I haven't tried out their crystal art yet. So I thought this would be a fun project to get started with it. Now, if you want to try out Worbla Crystal Art for yourself, I will put a link down in the description box below. It's not an affiliate link, it's not a sponsored video, but I just wanted to let you know where I got it. Now, the reason why I'm making a snowman out of Worbla Crystal Art is because my wife really likes snowmen, and I have made her several in the past. I've made one out of polymer clay, made one out of felted wool, and I've made one out of Worbla and painted it. So this year I'm going to make her one out of the Worbla Crystal Art. We'll get started right after this. Alright, I've got everything set up on my art desk. I'll go ahead and open up the Worbla Crystal Art. You see there's a little instruction sheet here. Go ahead and bring that up closer so you can see that. If you want to read through this, go ahead and pause it here. There is a little bit more in-depth instructions on cosplaysupplies.com, so I did glance over those as well. Now, I did decide to go ahead and warm this up with a heat gun. Since I'm using a glass container on here, I'm just using the heat gun on a lowest setting to hopefully not have any issues with that breaking. Now, I wasn't for sure how hot this crystal art got while you're heating it up to be able to sculpt it, so I decided to use some heat-resistant gloves. And they did say it gets kind of sticky, so I was worried about it getting hot and sticking to my fingers because it doesn't sound comfortable at all. I've burned myself on Worbla a little bit, but you pull away and it's not as bad as if you have hot melted plastic on your fingers. So I definitely went with the route of the heat resistant gloves. So now I've got it heated up, I'm rolling it out. I'm going to do a 3-section snowman. So I'm going to roll out another piece or another grouping of the crystal art. And this, like I said, this is the first time I'm using this, so I don't know how this is even supposed to look. I've never even looked at videos of other finished projects. So I am going to look into that, after I do this one, just to see how I did and see what I need to know for my next project. But I thought this is a good starter piece, and I'll try something a little more complex with my next piece. Now, one thing I did notice is this takes a long time to cool down. Now, you can touch it, but the issue I had is it wouldn't hold its form and it would start drooping. So I'm going to go ahead and heat up enough crystal art for the last section of the snowman. So it's going to be that bottom ball for the lower body. I'm going to get this nice and hot so I can get that shaped how I want it. Just keep working it with my fingers. What I'm trying to do is just kind of smoosh those little crystals so they blend in with the rest of them. They'll bond together, but I didn't want it to look like there's a lot of crystals in there. I'm not worried about it being perfect because I think that's kind of the fun of doing stuff like this. So now it is cool enough to touch with my hands, but I can still shape it, and it still kind of droops when I put it down. So now what I'm going to do for the rest of it is I've got some glass beads and some little arms I made out of polymer clay to look like wood branches, and a little nose I made out of polymer clay to look like a carrot. So I thought I could just push these into place, and my issue right now is it's soft, but it's not soft enough. So I'm going to heat it up some more so I can push the stuff, push those into place better. But right now I'm just kind of reshaping it because it keeps losing its form. And I want to make sure I'm really happy with how it looks before I start doing those other features on it. So I removed that arm because it was it wasn't in there very deep, so I knew it wasn't going to stay. And now that I'm fairly happy with the shape of my little snowman, I'm going to get my glove back on, heat it up, and then just push those into place. I'm not using any glue. Hopefully it holds. Hopefully my wife doesn't throw it around or anything, isn't too rough with it. But if she is, I'll fix it eventually. So now I'm just using glass beads for the eyes. I did get some glass beads out for the mouth, but as I was doing the eyes, I realized these really, push that crystal art out, you know, as you're pushing in those beads, and I didn't want to distort my sculpt that much with the mouth, so I decided not to do glass beads for the mouth. So I'm just going to use my ball tool to make a little space for the nose so it's easier to push in there. And then I'm just going to take my ball tool and make a little mouth. So you can see like kind of an indentation, as if, you know, whoever made it, like if a bunch of kids made a snowman, they just use their finger to kind of push in where his mouth would be. And you can see it in the finished project, but it's not as noticeable. So I'm going to go ahead and let this cool for a while. We'll come back the next day and take a look at it. So here is the finished Worbla Crystal Art Snowman. I'll get a good look at it. You can kind of see that mouth there, and you can see how that's, you know, it's not clear, but it's translucent. So it definitely would be a fun piece to have some lights around it, some Christmas lights, or even, you know, you could probably make a type of night light out of something like this. I think there's all kinds of different fun possibilities. I'll just let you get a good look at it. I was really happy how he turned out for my first project. Again, he's very simple, but I'm definitely going to tackle something a little more complex for my next one. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have ideas for other videos, please leave it in the comments down below. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to post new videos every week. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and remember, never stop creating. Bye!